What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. Now off the rip, before we start this leak right now, the audio is going to be a bit moody. I can't show you, man, but obviously the YB in a hotel right now, OT, and the windows is some 1930s. I'm not even sure it's single glaze. It's some mad thing. Anyway, so yeah, apologies any interruptions from the planes. Let's cut to it then. We got the leaked video of the full leaked video of Anthony Johnston and Daniel Dubois getting into it. This is unfortunately going to end up being one of them 5-hour ones, sorry, 5-part ones, because listen, the way these videos have been going recently, I'll be here for about a week, so you best believe. Anyway, I'm not going to start in normal order. We're going to cut straight to one part I found interesting, which was Johnston and Eddie Hearn, both of them as well, trifling having ass nicks, or a nick and a daddy's boy. You got this trifling nick here, and you got this trifling daddy's boy looking ass from Mandingo Room, 1825 EST. You best believe it. So these two cats, essentially trifling hoes, leak the fact that they've got snakes, snitches and collaborators in Daniel Dubois' camp, keeping tabs on him. So let's get to it anyway. I've done enough talking. He stayed with the talking, you best believe it.
Yeah. I told these two at the fight, I said Dubois would beat arguably.
Yeah, we were sitting next to each other.
With all due respect, you don't underestimate anyone, but I know boxing very well. All this stuff that we talk about, I study Daniel, and I look at some of the things that he says, his characteristics, his boxing talent, you know, his upbringing and so on. All of it's irrelevant. Is he ready? Everything I tell you now is irrelevant. He will see September 21st.
You ready?
No, you will see. I'm asking you.
You will see.
You ready?
I'm ready.
That's it.
Sorry, this weren't the topic of the video, but I gotta just butt in. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's kind of bubbling out of the YB right now. Johnston, yeah, just because you got a few around you, I don't even think Johnson really has crash dummies like that. There's some dusty hood dudes here who really have crash dummies. You ain't that guy, man. You ain't Pablo Escobar, Ahmad, Bruce Lee. Your name ain't Pablo, Ahmad, Bruce Lee, yeah, El Chapo, Kinahan. That's not your name. Your name's Anthony. In fact, what did Dillian White say your name was? What was his name? Your name's Femi something. Femi Okunwunga. One of them ones. That's what he said your name was. Your name ain't even Johnston. You are a creation of Barry Hearn Sr. from the 1700s. Barry Hearn Sr. I think his name's actually Barry Hearn IV. Barry Hearn IV. That's where you came from. Who changed their name, right? OIB. It's for commercial purposes. The fuck is that? Yeah? Stand in your name. My name is Femi Okunwunga. Oops. Yeah? That's how we do it out of Nigeria. Anthony Johnston. Your name might as well have been Thomas, I don't know, some corny English name on the end. So let's not make out that you something you're not. You're a man, yeah, who two old white man, Barry Hearns III, told you, hey man, change that name. That name ain't commercial enough for us, right? Femi Okunwunga ain't commercial enough for Johnston. That's the guy you are, yeah? When Massa Barry Hearn III told you that name need to change, you change your name. So don't be sitting there. I'm not saying Dubois is not perfect, yeah, but Johnston, you're not that guy. You're not that guy, man. Stop playing. You know, I can't remember what he said, but he's talking tough, ain't he? Like he really getting down like that. And if many people are kind of coining the, and even I've done it, I'm not going to tell the truth. We've all done it. I don't know what for, but we've all done it. Oh, after Ngannou. After Ngannou, he's now with Ben Diamato Davidson. Oh, YB. Now it's with Ben Mr. Maggie Davidson. It's all different. Go back and watch them fights, man. You fought a wrestler, and Wallin, I don't know what he was on. What's his biggest win? What's he done? And you was fannying around with Wallin. I did a 1-hour expose on your fight with Wallin. You weren't with the shits. You weren't packing. You weren't strapped. Yeah? You didn't have the chinger with you against Wallin. You was in there with a dude who can't punch, and you was faffing around. So for me, it's the tone, right? No one's OIB. He jacked against Mr. Blobby Andy Ruiz. He jacked against Double Cheese Ruiz 5 years ago. Things have changed. That's not the point. If he'd really changed, if we saw AJ in there totally ferocious and acting in the fights, how he talks, I'd be with it. But we heard all this before Usyk 2. Oh man, you know what? I didn't watch this guy neck. I didn't watch Evander Holyfield. I didn't watch whoever else. I watched Big Meech. I watched Larry Hoover, he in jail somewhere. Yeah? Trying to get some corny Nick politician to put him back on. Oh man, you know, I'm a changed man. You locked up. You serve too much dope, man. You where you need to be. You poison the community too much. Just sit there and take the weight. Stop crying. Stop talking about human rights. Oh man, it's not it's unhuman to keep a Nick locked up 23 hours a day, 50 years. You should have been thought about that. Wherever you from, let's assume it's Chicago. The streets of Chicago, they've been remembered. The destruction and devastation you pushed on their streets. So keep him in where he is, right? So for Johnson to sit there, Mr. Lucasade, Mr. I'm doing it for the kids, and kind of knock legitimate people like Holyfield, like whoever else you want, legitimate top boxers, hard men in his sport, to knock them and say I didn't watch that. I was watching Dusty rapper / narco trafficante Nicks that locked up somewhere begging for release. Come on, bro. That's a pseudo thing to say, right? That's not intelligent. An intelligent position is, wait a minute, especially someone coming from the, I'm helping the kids. What was helping the kids, Johnston, when you was bigging up Larry Hoover and putting down great boxers? And then in the end, you end up looking like neither of them. You ain't gangster and you ain't a top fighter like that. So what was the point? You might as well have stayed on code, which was, hey man, I can punch something up if it stands right in front of me and puts his hand down, like Francis Ngannou. But if it comes to squabble, I'm looking for the back door. Walling through like 2 punches on the inside. AJ was... He didn't want nothing to do with that. That Swedish peacekeeping shtick that Wallin was on. He would want no part of it. So stop playing. Stop. For me, it's Johnson. His voice, he talked too deep with it. I've got a high-pitched voice. That's how you need to talk, Johnston. When people see me, there's nothing unassuming about it. You see him and say, oh, he a corny light-skinned Nick. No doubt about that one. But the way you, oh man, my name Johnston and Big Meech, Larry Hoover, yeah, you're giving it to Rick Ross, and again, he a federal agent. You're giving it to Rick Ross. You're giving it to Let's listen again, and I'll do it again in Johnson's voice for you.
Would be arguably.
Yeah, we were sitting next to each other.
With all due respect, you don't underestimate anyone, but I know boxing very well. All this stuff that we talk about, I study.
I know boxing very well. I've studied. Oh, you've studied now, because before you was researching gangsters in jail somewhere. ADX Florence, 100 metres underground, gasping for air. That's what you were saying you was doing. So wait a minute, before you never looked up the boxers. Now you know the game. Johnson, you don't know the game. All due respect, you categorically don't. You might have watched people. We can all watch a few YouTube videos. That don't mean you know the game. Know the game is being able to implement it. There's a whole bag of ish. I can watch on TV, and then I can even then she clipped me. Even if I'm doing it with Michelle, she clipped me on my chops half the time. I'm not gonna lie. So we can all watch a bunch of videos, yeah, and think we slick with it. Then you get in there with another man your size. Oops. So you don't really know the game. James Toney, he know the game, right? He been knowing the game. You ain't that. You ain't that. Not even close. You don't know. You like Vlad. Vlad don't know the game. Vlad knows how to jab and grab, and you're in the middle somewhere between pure jabbing and grabbing, and whatever.
Yeah, we were sitting next to each other.
With all due respect, you don't underestimate anyone, but I know boxing very well. All this stuff that we talk about, I study Daniel, and I look at some of the things that he says, his characteristics, his boxing talent, his upbringing and so on. All of it's irrelevant. Is he ready? Everything I tell you now is irrelevant. He will see September 24th.
Oh, he will see on September, whatever day it was. We're still waiting. All due respect, we're still waiting to see Johnston. I've been waiting. And not only the Lord knows, my $1,000 I had on Usyk knows that we're waiting to see. We've been waiting. We steady waiting. Do you know how many people? Do you know how many hours the YB had to work for that bag? Legitimately, that's 100 hours of work. There's not even enough hours in the week. I mean, that's damn near 3-week work. 3 weeks of working. The YB had to do to put that on. And this guy's sitting here saying, you're going to see. It's a bit late, mate. It's about 3 years late from my financial position. With your corny arse.
First.
You ready?
No, you will see. I'm asking you.
You will see.
You ready?
I'm ready.
That's it.
How does it feel to be heavyweight champion of the world?
Oh, we've been mooted off with the ads, people.
It's great. You know, just, you know, forgive me, I'm actually a little bit tired. I just got off the plane today.
That's okay.
Come back from Brazil.
So there you go.
I want to show you Dubois' face. So AJ says, you just come back from Brazil. Listen again.
Okay.
Come back from Brazil.
So there you go.
Dubois is like, whoa, this Nick got the Mossad on a young yardie. Do you know what I mean? This guy, I've been told you this, man. 258 management, Barry Hearn the third, El Shakel. Yeah, do you know, them man can do whatever they're doing. It's really a minor for them to know where Daniel Dubois are at. But they probably got a collaborator there too. Yeah, insecure men. In fact, you know what? Let me play the rest of it. I'll just be doing too much talking.
There you guys go.
Got back this morning.
Eh?
Got back this morning.
Yeah. So
What was
I'm
you
a
doing
bit
in Brazil?
a little bit shaking, but
What was you doing
working
out
hard,
Can't-
training hard. Training hard.
He can't tell you that.
I know what he's doing.
In the
out
gym.
there. I know.
So Frank Warren says he can't tell you what he was doing out there, and AJ says I know what he was doing out there. Barry Hearn the third, Shekel team, Mossad team, they've been told him what he's doing out there.
Always in the gym.
He's like you, he's in the gym all the time.
I know.
So I mean, what I didn't understand was, and I got more videos coming later on the whole video, or cutting it up, and we'll specify on this particular element I'm about to mention right now. But I ain't gonna lie, the whole way through, Team Warren / Dubois seemed cucked to me. Yeah, AJ was maybe AJ's been hanging out with a whole load of psychoanalyst cats and they've been blowing his head. Yeah, he's probably been talking to Andrew Tate. Yeah, be masculine, always talk first, and this, that, the other, and never be like whatever. But Dubois' team just seemed to sit there and just cut themselves. Like at one point, Ade and Johnston were jumping on, oh, you've quit a few times. I'd have been saying, Johnston, you got punched up by Mr. Blobby, who ain't never punched no one up. Joe Joyce knocked out Joe Parker cold, who I lost to. Hergovich went life and death with Zhang 50-50. Right? So those are two. Who's Ruiz beat? Who's Ruiz beat? We don't know. Who? Big people, 400 pound, slow as molasses, no speed having. Jarrell Miller punch him up. Oh, his hands hurt. Okay, whatever. Yeah, that's your situation. And it's like, all due respect, at this point in time, Dubois has actually proven more. AJ can sit there and posture and talk about, yeah, we'll see. But in terms of what we've actually seen, based on past information, Dubois is the one who's come back from adversity, the absolute bottom, quitting off a jab twice. Second time was worse than the first time. The first time he had a built-in excuse. His orbital was gone. Okay, very painful. The second time was just an out-and-out, I've jacked. An out-and-out Colin Kaepernick. An out-and-out BLM. He on his knees somewhere. He don't want no more. But to come from that absolute bottom and to make it to a point where you're stopping at undefeated people. Eddie Hearn in this interview, he shills. He says, or he backtrack. Now all of a sudden, oh, Hergovich wasn't that good anyway. I knew Hergovich wasn't all that. He said something along the lines of that. Oh, Hergovich ain't all that. Is what Eddie Hearn was saying. He's saying now. Before, Hergovich is the most ducked man. Usyk don't want to fight Hergovich. We've got to rip his belt because he'll never fight Hergovich. Hergovich too big, too strong. Croatian. From the mud. Is what Eddie Hearn was saying. Now all of a sudden, well, we don't Hergovich, who's he beat, and we don't really know how good he is. AJ says, oh, I knew you'd beat Hergovich. Show the betting slip, right? That's what I don't like about a lot of people. Yeah, I'm broke as a joke. But I believe if someone puts a petition out there, oh, I knew something, yeah, you'll never hear me say I knew this and didn't bet on it. That is impossible. Because Eddie Hearn and AJ, who knew it, they could have been made 3 times their money on Dubois. You put 100 grand in, you get 300 grand back. Who don't want a free 300 grand if you knew it? There's way too many Johnny-come-latelys or Monday morning quarterbacks. Oh, I knew it, but my coins... You got coins to lose as well, really, right? I haven't got it to lose. But I feel it's a moral obligation. If I come on here and spit bars and tell you I believe something, the least you can do is put 2 bread on it. That's the least you can do. Hey, Dan, I knew you'd win, so I've got your number. That'd be a bit of a floss. Hey, Dan, I know this game. Look, my betting slip proves it. I've got your number, mate. I knew you'd beat Hrgovic, and I got the keys to unlock your knee. Your knee might be a little bit stiff now, and you're able to stand on both legs, but by the time I touch you, your knees are going to buckle, both of them, and you're going to be posted there. In fact, if I was AJ, these guys need to put me on their marketing team. If I was AJ, I'd bring in the top moody BLM cat and Colin Kaepernick and fly them in. Get Turkey to fly their man in. No Diddy. And put them in the corner and say, hey, Dan, 100%, I got your comrades right here. You fixing to take a knee for the cause. That's how I'm gonna have you look. That's how I'm gonna leave you looking. But these guys ain't got no chat, man. Same as Dubois' team. They ain't got no chat. You're just sitting there getting cucked by Johnston. If Dubois was fighting a heavyweight Beterbiev and Beterbiev was talking that ish, you'd say, well, you'd see me here like, ooh, yeah, what do you say? But to get schooled as such on all these things, and to get, it's not schooled, it's more of a, schooled / sunned. AJ no doubt won this interview. Dan had some strong rebuttals, but they were all rebuttals. There was no offense here. It was all, let's just get the ball over the net, which worries me. Politically speaking, it feels to me like there's a narrative here. Like Dan knows what's going to happen. Frank even knows. Normally Frank, especially for Dubois, Dubois is like Frank's best ever. Yeah, Dubois is like Frank Warren's #1 bull of all time. Yeah, that's his premium, the bull he took from babyhood all the way up. And yet in this interview, there's no passion, there's no... Frank Warren's just taking it from Eddie and AJ. Like, oh yeah, well, you are right. And I'm thinking, it's just off, man. Especially given that AJ's bringing the bad mind energy. We've all seen the political face-to-faces where they're all there like, trying to suck each other off, dead. No one wants to watch that. So the entertainment value's there, but between, as far as knocking heads goes, AJ brought it there. If this was the generic, imagine Usyk and Lomachenko fought each other. All you'd hear in that face-to-face would be, oh, he's very skilled, I respect him a lot, whatever. But AJ's running his mouth. Like he's a big boss like that. And Dubois is kind of taking it. It don't mean nothing, ultimately. When the shots start flying, that's what will mean something. And unfortunately, Dubois has proven, or unfortunately for Anthony Johnston and his brigade of homosexuals, Dubois has been through it. I watched that after I did my AJ analysis. I did the AJ analysis of the right hand, exposing the myth of AJ's right hand last week. And after that, because I got really hyped up, seeing how... Oh, watch the video. I was... After making that video, I was gassed that there's no way Johnston's going to win. And then I watched the Dubois vs Hrgovic fight. Knowing how quickly I forget things. We all knew the Hrgovic vs Dubois fight was bad. But seriously, it was worse than I thought. The fight went 8 rounds, I think. Again, this is watching it, not live. I watched it again for the second or third time. I didn't have Dubois winning a round to the 5th or 6th. Seriously. And for the first 3, it was like, oh my... Until the cut, really. So who knows? If that cut hadn't happened, Dubois still might have got to him. But still, it was really like, ooh. So for me now, it's a toss-up. It's gone from, I'm dead certain Dubois to it's a toss-up. Because I don't believe AJ can punch, but that was too many right hands, man. That was too many right hands. And now we've all got to be sceptical of Hrgovic's power. Because as many right hands as Dubois took, his left eye was not marked at all. His face wasn't even marked, which makes you wonder, like, what they put in Hrgovic gloves? Cotton candy. Dubois had no marks. And I think after Ngannou got bonged over with that right hand from Johnston, I think that he even had a bit of a welt. That was off 1 or 2 right hands. Does welting mean knockout? No, but Hrgovic can't punch. That's what it means. Let me show you the face of Hrgovic now. Sorry. Daniel Dubois versus Govich post-fight. Images. Okay, that's all of Hrgovic. I want to find, is that it there? Let's take this picture here, for example. Here we go. That'll do. It's a bit, the quality is off, but is that really the one though? It's unbelievable. How can you not have post-fight in the ring? No diddy. Is that it there? Okay, let's assume this is it here. Well, it must be. He's got the IBF belt. He's never had the IBF belt. So this is the picture for sure. Okay. Let's go. Here we go, Bosch, people, look. That, honestly, it looks to me like Dubois just fought Nathan Gorman. He's actually quite fascinating. Legitimately. I saw this and thought, what the fuck? This is Dubois with the IBF belt, hence, after the Hrgovic fight. People. The only damage I see on Dubois is from the lack of sleep he ain't had from his bags. And that's what pisses me off, because a lot of you pseudo man, you tell me things like, oh, YB, you've never boxed. Oh, YB, you say everyone can't punch. What do you want me to do here, people? Do you want me to sit here and tell you Hrgovic can punch when we know he hit Dubois with like 200 right hands and jabs? There's no swelling anywhere. There's no nothing. I've boxed Michelle before, and she's boxed me somewhere and I've had a little mark, or I've certainly boxed someone and I've had a little mark, top of my forehead. This guy ain't got, yeah, I'm light skinned or whatever else, but come on, bro. We've seen Dubois. Let's have a look at Dubois versus Joe Joyce. And Joe Joyce wasn't even throwing the right hand. He was throwing the jab. Let's have a look at Dubois' face. Here we go. Because to be fair, it could be the case that Dubois has some sort of, whatever we say about his willingness to fight, his chin isn't bad. He does not have a bad chin. No one's actually put him down like that, right? No one's actually put Dubois down with a neurological punch. He's always been put down by quitting, essentially. There's been no kind of, you've never seen, okay, you can look at the Lorena fight when he fought the cruiserweight Lorena. At the time, I mean, I was scared that night. I had $2,000 in a compounder on Fury to beat Chisora, and it paid back, like, how much was it? 15%. I put Dubois, Fury, and someone else on the card. There was 3 fights. I combined them together, and it paid 15%. So off $2,000, sorry, that's $300. At the time, I was thinking, bosh, like, who don't want? It's like I was telling you about AJ. Who don't want a free 300 quid in for nothing? And I couldn't believe my luck. That's what I'm warning you, man, about. I'm gonna put an accumulator on for the Saudi or for the Wembley card and for the Beterbiev Bivol card, and that pays double your money. All you have to do is bet on 10 guaranteed wins. But this is what happens. Yeah, Dubois versus Lorena is the magic that happens when the YB puts coin on. Something that's unfathomable. Dubois nearly gets knocked spark out. Anyway, so yeah, looking at this, yeah, like Dubois swollen, but he's not. He doesn't tend to get neurologically compromised, or his face doesn't really redden or bludgeon or cut. Look, he's, again, apart from he's got a bit of a bloody nose, but even then, we've seen people's noses mushed up. There's no, okay, the eye's obviously massive. We know that's broken. But outside of that, it's not, his face isn't a big mess like you'd think it would be. Most people who I see get that kind of eye, their faces are messed. So, yes, his complexion may help him. The fact is, essentially a freshie, if that makes it. He ain't like ski freshie. Fresh off the boat. It's one of them for Dan. No, but I'm joking, you're not fresh. He's between freshie and light skin. That's where Dan bang in the middle, man. Organic. I'll call Dan organic. Dan is an organic yardie colour. That's what Dan is. Anyway, so it might be an element of that. But I remember seeing Terence Crawford versus Madrimov. He took a few right hands, but he wasn't. And he had a mouse. So the fact Dubois fought Hrgovic, and I showed you the picture, whether it's gone now, and there was no marks. Either Hrgovic cannot punch a lick, that's my base case. Hrgovic cannot punch a lick. But on top of that, Dubois has a great chin. Dubois doesn't cut easy. He doesn't stumble easy. Even Lorena, at the time I was screwing, going mad, talking about how Dubois is useless. But on hindsight, I do believe it was his knee. Because you can't tell me Lorena coming from cruiserweight is this much of a phenomenal puncher, but yet Joe Joyce or Usyk couldn't, or Hrgovic couldn't stun this guy. And with the amount of right hands we've seen Dan hit with, he should have been stunned if he was chinny. So his chin's actually rock solid. What we don't know is the after effects. Look at Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce's chin was solid until he was knocked Spike out. Then again, Dubois wasn't knocked Spike out. He won the fight. But still, obviously, more damage. Don Charles knows it. We all know it. More damage is never preferential to a boxing career. Anyway, I've done so much waffling. This must be a long one as well. I ain't gonna lie. Oh my god, it's 25 minutes. Let's finish the rest off. I haven't even talked about the main point. It's been blabbering.
Back this morning.
Yeah, so
What was
I'm
you doing in
a
Brazil?
little bit shaking, but
What was you
I'm
doing
working
out
hard, training hard.
Training
hard.
He can't.
September 21st.
You ready?
Ask him
No,
that
you
question.
will see.
I'm asking you.
You will see.
You ready?
I'm ready.
That's it.
How does it feel to be heavyweight champion of the world?
It's great. Forgive me, I'm actually a little bit tired. I just got off the plane today.
That's
so
okay.
Come back from Brazil.
there you go. There you guys go.
Got back this morning.
Eh?
Got back this morning.
Yeah, so
What was
I'm
you doing in
a
Brazil?
little bit shaking, but
What was you
I'm
doing
working
out
hard,
Can't-
training hard. Training hard.
He can't tell you that.
I know what he's doing.
In the
out
gym.
there. I know what you're...
From AJ doubles down, I knew what he was doing out there. Listen, AJ, just because Barry Hearn III made you change your name, it don't make you a gangster. Unfortunately, do you understand? So you can pretend to, I knew what he was doing. Like, really, AJ, that makes you a virgin. A lot of the Andrew Tate / pseudo dudes will tell you things like, kind of win by any means, and yeah, have snitches in his camp. But in my opinion, it makes you a bitch. Who here think James Toney was worried? Like the masculine man, a true masculine man, he ain't worried about another man like that unless they're fighting. That's what they're interested in. That's what the bitches be doing. The bitches be on the Instagram looking at what everyone doing. Oh, my man's doing this, my man's doing that. And a lot of men be doing that too these days because they're estrogenic. Yeah? Real men ain't worried about another man's business. Bring your best on the night and I'll whip your ass and send you back home where you came from. That's what James Toney was on. James Toney was not sitting there spending energy trifling. Yeah? Spending energy. Oh yeah, we must find someone in Dubois' camp. We must follow what he's doing. Like a woman. Women are supposed to follow what another man or what a man's doing. What their man's doing. AJ acting like Dubois' wife. Keeping tabs on him. This is your op. F the ops. Yeah, it's a bit like them moody criminals who use the police. They use the police to shut down their competition. Now again, the Andrew Tate pseudo-masculine position would be, yeah, win by any means. You're a cornball. You ain't going to Valhalla. You ain't making it to Warriors Paradise. Because the Warriors up there are going to look at your corny ass and say, hey man, you won by leveraging federal authorities. Collaborator. The collaborator and the rat is the bottom of the food chain. Below the women. A woman's more likely to make it to Warriors Paradise than a rat. I can tell you that now. For damn sure. If you got a problem with your op, you don't run to the federal authorities or the corrupt people in the government and try and get them struck off and smile about it. You lock in and you go Billy the Kid on their ass. Or maybe you get caught lacking. That's sometimes the journey a warrior must take, right? How many warriors do you think on an op? And it ended up being their day to make the solemn journey to the pearly gates. A whole bag of man, historically, a whole bunch of man had to travel there. That is martyrdom, people. Collaborators aren't martyrs. And people who implement collaborators, that's a bitch. Bottom line. Yeah, you scary ass as well. You nervous. You don't think you have enough just to beat the man within yourself. You have to feel like you have all the information. There's something missing from you. Yeah? James Toney will pull up to a fight and have self-confidence in himself. There's no man that can beat me. Do you understand? It's innate within him. That is premium masculinity. Winning by all costs. Look at the world. Look at the way the world is now, people, politically. A bunch of rats in government. They're all trying to... No one's trying to really lead. They're all just trying to get rich by any means necessary. If you've got to sell weapons to blow some children up, that's what they'll do. And the response to that is... The corny response, even though it's become pseudo-masculine, to Andrew Tate, oh man, get the bag. Well, I got the bag. I sold my ass in Saudi, but I got the bag. I sold my ass to the shekels, but I got the bag. That's the excuse now. But I'm rich and I've got bitches. Which, I'm not someone who particularly believes in the spiritual realm in that sense. But if there is a spiritual realm, you ain't crossing over. So be careful of all these so-called religious, oh, my name's Andrew Tate and I'm Muslim now. Be careful of them, man, and what they say and how you interpret it. Because they cornballs. I'm telling you now. Yeah? They damn sure ain't martyrs. That's what we can categorically conclude. They're collaborators. Yeah? Who runs Rumble? Look into the guy who owns Rumble. Oops. Yeah? I think he's top shekel, to be fair. So all them cats here, Russell Brand, all them other Kabbalah cats who get put on and pumped up on Rumble. Yeah? It's one of them ones. They control all the sides. They control the Tommy Robinson. The Tommy Shackelstein. They control him. So all you man talking about reform and... What's the other cat's name? Farage. All them, man. Yeah? It's about the bag for them. It's not really about leadership. They just trifling, trying to get the bag, trying to get more clout. Bottom line. There's very few true martyrs out there. Yeah? That's what they ain't doing. They're trying to spur everyone up to get you to do what they should be doing. A true leader, he lead on a battlefield with his men. Do you understand? Spartacus was never found, people. Yeah, that's in my opinion, that's a true king's death. Yeah, you in the mix with your mans. You ain't posted up at the back trying to cop a plea when all your squad's dead. You ain't running off and getting a... What's the guy's name? That's why I don't rate the Rasta guy either. They all suck off. What's his name? Haile Selassie. Yeah? He got run out of town and had to come to the UK copping a plea, man. He ain't a martyr. I don't know why they suck him off for. Yeah, he complained that he a bitch. He should have, against the odds or not. The Zulu cats, no doubt there was a few collaborators, yeah, but the Zulu cats, yeah, coming there with their bows and their spears, ready to travel, ready to make the journey to Valhalla, people, to Warrior's Paradise. Selassie, he's somewhere else. He in the UK. Because I went there when I was 10 years old. My mum was kind of into that whole Rasta hippie thing, yeah. She took me to the place he stayed at, essentially. Oops. He copped the plea. There's no martyrdom there. Yeah? Living for a lifetime, living the rest of your life on your knees makes you a bitch. Bottom line, I don't care who got hurt about it. I don't care nothing else. That's what it makes you. And don't, people, I live my life on my knees. I know I'm a bitch. I ain't claiming to be, this one, the king of kings or whatever else. Or the corniest alpha. Yeah? Know yourself. And know what you're not. You ain't no big boss leader, alpha leader. You cucked. And very few are martyrs. And listen, people, I ain't got a clue what this has to do with this topic, if I'm honest. I'm not sure how I got here. But here we are. Well, that's what I was talking about, collaborators and bitches. AJ, you a bitch. You nervous. You sit there at night, laying there, thinking, plotting. Oh, what's my man doing? Where's Dubois been? Yeah? Setting it all up, talking to your collaborator. Imagine that. Not imagine. AJ told you. He sits there in bed at night, texting. Dubois halfway around the world doing whatever he's doing, and AJ's sitting there asking his rat to keep him informed. Oh, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Oh, is he training today? And AJ, that kind of guy, yeah. If he finds out Dubois taking a day off, AJ will be rock hard thinking, I can take some confidence from this. I trained 7 times this week. He only trained 6. You think James people? YB, you're a hater. You're a whoever hater. Do who here think James Tony was sitting there, texting, checking in about what another man was doing? I bet my life on it. He not interested. Too alpha masculine. He with the shits. He stay with it. That's what James Tony be doing, in my opinion. But this new age is uber estrogenic, uber feminine, nervous. And even if you look at AJ's actions, look at how he fights. He's nervous. estrogenic, feminine. He's not a Zulu warrior looking to walk through, what they call it, the valley of the shadow of death. He ain't gonna make that walk. Ruiz, people. Ruiz was essentially fixing to bless AJ with that journey. Or maybe AJ could have won if he'd have had a fight about it. AJ did not want to meet his destiny. He ran from it. He wanted the authorities to protect him from Warriors Paradise. Fact. He was not knocked out. He was just a bit tired, and he wasn't even all over the place. Fury was more cooked against Usyk, really. So AJ quit. It was a hard fight against a man who can't punch, double cheese Ruiz, and AJ didn't want to squabble. He didn't want to lock in. And that's why now he running tabs on Dubois like Dubois' ex-girlfriend. That's how he acting. AJ's like, oh, I'll be sitting there looking at Dubois' Instagram. Oh, he posted this 2 hours ago. That means he's there. Oh, if Dubois' not at the gym, if Dubois' here, that means he's not at the gym, which... Man, you corny. Big old corny Nick too. Well, I used to look at it and go, like, I'm 5'9". If I pump up, if I bulk up, if I'm soft. The YB's 5'9" and 200 pounds soft. Yeah? I can make it to 200 pound club, I ain't gonna lie. 200 pound but soft, bulbous, right? I used to look up naively. You see these big bulls and you think there must be something. Like I was chilling with some kids the other day. Obviously not on a weird one, but if you watch kids' behaviour, I was trying to understand the psychology behind why is bigger better. Everything we hear about, like, they want the big truck. No one wants the little pussy truck. So there's something innate in human beings that bigger is somehow better. I don't know where it comes from, but it's in there. And no one wants the smallest. If you're handing out strawberries to the kids, no one wants a small strawberry. They want the big strawberry. So look at the females, yeah? If you lined up a whole bag of man, no one want the baby dick. And 9 times out of 10, the YB, he gonna be left off the list. Yeah, if you lined up 10 if you lined up 10 Congolese Mandingo bulls, 9 times out of 10, all the bitches that come in, unless they have a propensity for the light skin, there's a few of them out there, but 9 times out of 10, they're gonna go for the longer wonga, knee swinging Mandingo. Bigger's better. So anyway, where I was going with this was, you see these big old dons, these big old Mandingo Nigerian bulls, big bucks, that society ingrains in you, big is strong. And you find out they're soft. Yeah? Soft is what they are. Particularly Johnston, the most corny type of soft as well. That I'm gonna keep tabs on another man soft. Just imagine that, people. Who here, there is a few of you corny man out there, to be fair, who here has ever thought about what another man is doing? Not once for the YB, and I'm corny. I've been told you that. That's not a big surprise. I'm a light-skinned corny cat with out-of-control emotions. What can I say? If you were to look at it, my behaviour on a piece of paper, I'm probably closer to a female. That's the God's honest truth. Yeah. So, that's the honest part. Equally though, as female and estrogenic as the YB may be, I've never sat there thinking, or like, not even just thinking about it's one thing. I wonder what my opponent's doing. It's another thing to plot and trifle about actually confirming what he's doing. Who's ever done that? Whoever's done that, this is your opponent. I don't know, let's say you got some beef with some guy. I guess if you're, I mean, for safety purposes, you may say, oh, is he at this place? Or if you're trying to catch him, more times, most people who are in a beef, yeah, you're worried about where you can catch the op lacking. Yeah? You're waiting to see where you can pull up on him. AJ's not doing that. He's just trying to build confidence from the information he gets, and it's all false. Dubois really, for example, obviously his odds go down, but Dubois could not train and still pull up and clip you, if that makes sense. As to read into it, what does that make AJ do? If AJ finds out that Dubois' boxing is pretty linear, yeah, Dubois is not going to come in like Floyd Mayweather. That's what we can almost guarantee. He's not going to come in whoop, 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 rocking and rolling. Dubois is going to come in like this, elbows wide, and right down the middle, ready for the right hand, with his head down, weighing in with his head. That's what Dubois is going to do. He's got a big stiff jab. It's quite slow though, but it's stiff. Push your head back. That's what Dubois is going to do. So what would you ever need information for? For what? All the AJ homosexuals out there, yeah. If I'm wrong and I'm hating or whatever else, you tell me. You give me a legitimate explanation. And most of you, especially the homosexual fans, you'll tell me, well, IB, you know, what you don't understand is, this is really cool. You know, all the tape homosexuals will sit there and hear these bars and they'll be like, yeah, you got him. You got a snitch in the camp. I've always, I don't know, this doesn't do it for me. It makes you corny to me. Same with Tank. When Tank was saying, oh, I've got snitches in Ryan Garcia's camp. Yeah? Pseudo wannabe alpha dudes perceive that as masculine. Perceive it as a win. Yeah, he caught him lacking. Yeah. Just imagine imagine AJ sat around with his friends. You got Skins to his right and whoever else to his left. Some other side man to his left. No doubt AJ sits there saying, oh, Skins, you won't guess where Dubois is. He's in Brazil. Just imagine that. Sitting there, talking about the man you're about to fight and conversating about where he is and what he's doing. No doubt Skins got jealous. He's like, hey, what are you... Skins got... Hey, man. Skins with his light-skinned, pretty-looking ass was like, hey, whoa. Why are you keeping tabs on another dude for? You're my Nick. Yeah? You spend too much time focused on Dubois.
But
what was you doing?
Working hard, training hard.
He can't tell you that.
I know what you're doing.
In the gym.
I know what you're
Always
doing.
in the gym.
He's like you, he's in the gym all the time.
I know.
Most
We
heavyweights.
know every day what they're doing. It's just part
Everyone's
of
got their spies in camp sometimes.
Actually, Ade, and I did a video the other day, so not most of the time. Ade is like anyone else. He's not perfect, but Ade in this interview, to tell the truth, was sucking AJ off. So all the pressure we heard on TalkSport, not pressure, but the honesty we heard on TalkSport, Ade fell off in front of AJ, and I get it. AJ can end Ade's career like that. And that's a sorry state of the world today. You have, like I said, you have collaborating bitches in all powers of position. Yeah? They're all good at running chat. AJ's all hard talking about, yeah, I'll see you, or whatever gangster thing. Oh, Big Meech. Huh. Larry Hoover. You can give it all the deep voice and whatever else, but if Ade put it on people, what pissed me off is Ade put it on Dubois. Ade said to Dubois, oh, Dubois, people say you quit. Fine, no one's denying that. My beef is Ade didn't pull up on Johnson and say, hey, Johnson, people say you quit, and it fell off. So clearly there's a power dynamic here, and I'm disappointed in Frank, really, which leads me to believe Frank's been paid off by Turkey, because Turkey came out today shilling, oh, we want Fury versus AJ. So I think, and ultimately Frank is another one of them. It's all about the coin for him. There's no martyrdom for him. He don't want to, really, Frank don't want to see, from what I saw from his interview and his behaviour, he don't want to see AJ clipped, because he knows AJ versus Fury is bigger than Fury versus Dubois, for example. So he don't even want that. To me, in his interview, I've seen Frank Warren passionate. In his interview, Frank Warren, he ain't passionate about Dubois winning. So don't be shocked if the fix is in, people. Yeah, the whole shtick from Ade to Frank. Dubois is a bit slow like that, and he's tired. Dubois never had the chat. He throws out a few of them clumsy bars. Dubois got them big dopey bars. When you see a big old dopey oaf Nick, those are the bars Dubois comes with. He comes with the bars that are like they have that kind of to the end of it. So it's not Dubois' fault. He ain't supposed to be sharp. Daniel, yeah, Dubois be working for £10 an hour. Put me on. You know what I'm saying? Dubois, put me on, man. I'll write your bars for you. I'll come in there. Get Frank. Daniel, sub Frank out. Bring me in, Daniel, is what you need to. Daniel's dad, you're supposed to be smart. Why have you got Frank there? Sub me in. Sub Frank's old, slow, paid off, having arts out of there. In fact, you don't even have to pay me. I don't want no financial incentives. I'll sit up there and say, Bosh. Yeah, Dan, you fell off, but you've come back and proven something. Johnston, your head's still gone. Fact. You still don't want to fight. Fact. I put it straight on Johnston. All these corny bars that AJ and Eddie Hearn was sitting there smirking and laughing about was weak. I'd tear them apart. £10 an hour. Yeah, plus travel expenses. Bosh. If nothing else, it ain't gonna make the vibe worse, right? Sitting there saying, "Ooh, I'm tired," kind of thing. Sitting there talking about you're tired. The energy can't get any lower than you had it, Daniel. So put the YB on, man. 100%.
Everyone in Britain, especially the heavyweights.
We know every day what they're doing. It's just
Here we go.
Training.
Training hard.
He can't tell you that.
I know.
So Frank Warren says, we can't tell you what he's doing. I want you to listen carefully here. I'm turning it up.
But
What was you doing?
working hard,
Can't-
training hard, training hard.
He can't tell you that.
I know what he's doing.
In the gym.
I know what you're
Always
doing.
in the gym.
He's like you, he's in the gym all the time.
I know.
So AJ says, I know what he's doing. I know what he's doing. And Eddie Hearn comes in for this again. Listen.
Most
we
heavyweights.
know every day what they're doing. It's part of
We know every day what they're doing. It's just part of it. No, Eddie. Yeah? You're from the lineage of Barry Hearn III, who set up Mandingo Room. Yeah? It's not part and parcel. You're a sideman. Yeah? Bottom line, back in the day, AJ would be a dude, well, maybe, who knows? Only because he's pumping up a fake image. In 10 years from now, AJ could easily be another Kelly Maloney. Woman. You understand? Frank Maloney sounding ass. Right? So you can sit here and say, well, we know what they're doing. Ade's shilling as well. Ade throws his 2 pennies in. Well, he's trying to... Ade's kind of de-escalate it. Yeah, well, everyone has spies. Dubois didn't mention what AJ was doing. Yeah, that's because Dubois dad's a true yardie. He ain't interested in what next man doing. Unless it's with his woman. The only time a yardie are interested in next man is if there's some free with a woman. You understand? The only time. So Dubois dad, he yardie. Interested in next man. But Johnston and Barry Hearn II's descendant, Eddie Hearn's, yeah, well, it's part and parcel. All smug looking, like it's slick. It makes you female, Eddie. Yeah? People talk about pocket watching being bad. Maybe. Man watching is even worse. It's the pinnacle. Some people like watching birds fly between the trees. What's worse than watching another man and what he's doing? And clearly Eddie's in on it. So no doubt Eddie sits there, Skins is there, AJ's there. Oh, you don't guess what I saw Dubois doing? Oh, Ben Davison's there. Oh, look, Ben, Dan's doing this. I've heard that. Anyway, I've waffled on enough. Last little bit, I've been gone off about 2 hours, I swear down.
Everyone's got their spies in camps sometimes. Everyone in Britain, especially the heavyweights, have shared a ring before. They've sparred. They've done whatever.
Yeah.
Have you guys shared a ring before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loads of...
So that was the end of it. What was I going to say? The last thing is, if Dan does have... Well, everyone seems to know it. I don't think AJ's lying. AJ and Eddie Hearn are too smug. So this wasn't oh, I'm going to pretend to be a mafia boss who has all the inside information. This was legitimate. AJ legitimately sits there preying on Dubois in the most sinister way, in the most thirsty way. Yeah, have you man ever had a breakup before? And again, this is from a corny light-skinned Nick. Have you man ever had a breakup before and you got another bitch to keep a tab on the bitch that blocked you? That's the YB. So I know these ones. I can see and smell a bitch when I see one. I just can, people. You ever done that one there? Yeah, the bitch block you and you get someone else to track them. That's AJ. He getting someone else to track another. At least it was a woman with the YB though. This guy doing it with a man. Yeah, no turkey. But yeah, the last thing is, as far as what was I gonna say? As far as what am I talking about here? Yeah, as far as the collaborator goes, as far as the Unrata goes, is it worrying? Is it not? It don't really matter, but it's irritating to me. I don't know whether the Mossad, whether 258 El Sheikh El Mossad have tapped Dan's phone or what. Who knows? I believe it's possible. That's for damn. Don't assume it's just a man there. Don't assume that at all. Assume they tapped the communications because they got the. Come on, stop. Wiley been told you, man. Yeah, it's a big circle thing and they're all in communication. It's nothing for AJ's team to pick the phone up and tap it in. It's a minor. Yeah, they don't call it the Kabbalah for nothing, right? That's why it's called it Kabbalah. You best believe it. Anyway, if it is a human bug, if it was a human rat, that's irritating for me. Now, one part of me thinks, you know what, Dan Dubois should find the rat and expose him. The other side of me thinks, James Toney, F it, man. If this guy want to be sitting there stressing about what I'm doing, that's good for me, because I'm focused on me. And I'm focused on the fact that he's soft to the Humpty Dumpty. He doesn't really want to fight. He doesn't really want to get hit. And we've never seen him really push through an engaging fight with a hooker. That's what we've never seen AJ do. Vlad with his one and two shots, that's not what AJ is going to have to do with Dubois. But yeah, if ideally get rid of who could the rat be? I hope it's not, I would assume it's not Don Charles, but you just don't know how deep the cabal go. Yeah, if Don Charles got a call saying, hey man, if Prince Turkey picked the blower up and says, hey, I don't know, let's assume Don Charles has made a couple mil, 2-3 mil. If Turkey picked the phone up and said, hey man, slip this in Dan's drink, bosh. Yeah, and Ngannou said that something was off. And I'm not saying I don't really believe in Ngannou's story, but he said it. Yeah, it could just be the fact he got knocked out for the first time, but he said it. Bottom line. So, it is nothing would surprise me these days, but it is corny, man. I'd like to know. It's probably one of the sidemen, one of the spit bucket holders. They're the only ones who have a real incentive outside of a large amount of money to a top guy like Don Charles. It's going to be the spit bucket holders. AJ can throw them spit bucket holders like $200 on Cash App, on Zelle. Yeah. AJ can Zelle one of them spit bucket holders $100, and he going to be telling all. And now that AJ's put the message out, really, I don't know. It's not worth investing energy in. James Toney. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. No doubt about it. People, stop it.